Hello, everyone. I'm back with a brand new series. This is the Ankh Ageplay Podcast. So I've been wanting to do this for like months now, and this is the first time that I'm actually getting the chance to do so. This is a bit easier for me because I don't have to prepare myself to sit in front of the camera. I just have to sit down in a chair and talk into a mic. And I think that is just a really good way for me to get some of my thoughts out more coherently instead of having to record 6, 7, 8, 9 times. I felt that this would do like really well. So, I know a lot of you guys are like, hey, where did that picture come from? My answer to you is, well, I did a photo shoot last year, and you're seeing some of it. The photographer allowed me to get one pic that she felt would be awesome for me to use as a banner, and holy shit, here it is. So yeah, I'm introducing this to you guys now because I really want to bring out everything that I've been thinking about doing for a while. I've had some really wonderful ideas. It's just that I have been busy as all hell and working because I've been working with the community, trying to get things done. And that's funny because that's going to be today's topic. Um, oh man. So I've been working with the community for 8 years. I have never been more involved than I have been now. I do communication, networking, and social networking so that we can try to get everything running really well. Get a lot of people to our events, stuff like that. Because everyone knows that in the kink community, ABDL, DDLG, MDLB, MDLG, stuff like that are not not as background as they used to be. It's not as taboo as they used to be. Age play is taking more of a forefront, and more people seem to be into it. And it's actually seemingly starting to be better understood, is what I wanted to say. This is going to be really awesome because I've been wanting to have more guests on my series. I haven't been able to do that because of the fact that, well, my series was more video based than audio. So now I'm thinking about doing a bit more audio than video. I'll still be doing video from time to time, and still doing my playtime episodes and stuff like that. But for right now, I think that this would be like the most ideal way for me to get things done at the moment because I have a lot of things going on. So let's get started. I want to talk about some of the situations that I have brought up in my last Journey Through the Kink Community episode. I want to amend some of that. So this is kind of a 1.5 part 2 to my Journey Through the Kink Community type stuff. This also will address, this podcast will also address where I've been. And I want to take the time out to actually give you guys some ideas of why I haven't been bringing out episodes regularly. So yeah, it's, oh Jesus. For the last couple of months, it's been rough because I've been in and out of the hospital. I've been sick. I've been well. Then I had cosplay work to work on. Then I had community work to do. It's been rough, but recently I was made into and officially made into one of the leaders for our for our age play community and the group that I work with. So, which is great, but that puts me into the limelight, and I'm more of the guy that works through the shadow than to work, which I know there is someone out there that probably said, black guy that works in the shadows. Oh, fucking assholes. Oh, man, if I made that joke, I know someone else did. Oh, God. Yeah, I work more in shadow. So, I'm the one that brokers the deals between different groups and stuff like that, and try to get things working normally. Recently, I kind of hit a bit of a snag and a curveball with that, because there's one particular group that keeps shining a light on my work, and that kind of irritates me, because the idea is for me to get things get things moving behind the scenes so that when they actually are implemented, things work correctly. It's not some type of backhand deal thing either. It's just I like to get things moving, seeing that I can get them working the way I like them, and so that they are efficient for everyone else that's in the group that needs to be working with it. That's the way I work. That's how I've always worked. Here's the problem with that. When it comes to this one particular group that I've been working with, they've been a little overzealous with their broadcasting of me lately, and I kind of am getting annoyed. Uh, and a lot of people will be like, well, why would you get annoyed by something like that? I'll explain. This group is not broadcasting me in a light that I like if it was to broadcast me in anything. What's been happening is that, like, there have been some really, really, really shady shit happening uh, behind the scenes. And for the first time, it's not me. I don't appreciate it. And the shady shit that I'm talking about has something to do with a story that I'm about to tell. I joined the community 8 years ago, as I said in my previous journey through the kink community series. In part one, I talked about how I joined the community, I met a group of really nice people, and how the community was vastly different. The community, and I've stated how the community was racist. Let me go into a little bit of detail about what took place and why, and what the repercussions were of it. I was really vague in my last series. I'm not going to be vague here. So, roughly 7 years ago, 6 or 7 years ago, I was a part of my city's local community for age play. There was one central group. That group was underneath the biggest group that bridged all of the smaller groups together, right? Hence why I called it Bridges. This major group went out and did certain things that I did not approve of. The first thing is that their central goal was to make money, not to connect people, was to make money. The second goal that they had was basically the exact same things that swingers care about. And it felt more like a swinger community than it did a kink community. And I'll explain. Most of the people that were involved in the major group were between the ages of 50 and 65. Yeah, yeah. The major median age was that. The people that they were pulling in were between the ages of 18 and 45. And these newer people, these younger people that they were bringing into the community, had different various kinks. If it didn't fall within 6 kinks that they were okay with, then those people were shunned. And if they did get into a relationship with someone, they would embarrass, humiliate, and shame the person until they no longer wanted to be a part of that kink anymore. And that their only love was for the kink that older person that is of that major group was interested in. By the way, most of those older people were not interested in anything but sex, and it was usually extremely vanilla sex. And they were in like partially nymphomaniacs, and it was really really shitty because age players that got involved with anyone in that community was promised a relationship that either was partially what it was and they had to throw away other parts of it, or it was something that they were okay with that wasn't okay to do. I'll give you an example. So let's say that one of the age players that gets involved with someone from the major group was an ABDL. It's fine that they have the little side where the major points of age play, but the diapers were no longer allowed. And if they were interested in that, they were humiliated and shamed by the community, talking about how they don't know how this person could be into it. That's horrible. You're fucking disgusting. And it made no sense. This is a kink community that told everyone that if it's okay if your kink isn't my kink. But behind the scenes, they were just shaming and blaming people, and it was really garbage. They were using one of the people that I work with now to bring in younger people into the community so they could get laid. That's what it was. It was, we're making a kinky meat market. It didn't work out, especially when I put their asses on blast. I got myself ousted from the community, more so I ousted myself, because I didn't want to have any parts in bullshit like that. Let me go into complete detail of this story. So, it was about 8 months after I had joined the community. I ended up, no, it's about a year and 8 months. So going on 2 years after I joined the community. And what happened is that I ended up getting involved with, like, the local group at the time had a seminar that they were wanting to hold about ABDL. And it was introduced by the main group for this event. I was perfectly okay with this. I was told it was $65 to go, and if you pay for the $65, that also covered the play party at the end, which sounded awesome because that meant that I get to meet new ABDLs and then go to this play party, and maybe there was something for all of us, right? Wrong! Oh my god. What took place next was fucking atrocious. So, here we are, journeyed an hour and a half outside of the city to a bar in the middle of the fucking woods. I know everybody is probably like, what? Yeah. And I really wish I was joking about this, but I'm not. It really was a bar in the middle of the woods, and there was nothing surrounding this place. Like, it was just a random fucking bar. So, I get out of the car, I'm looking around, and I'm like, why are we hosting this here? Now, let me paint a picture for you. It's winter. First off, it's during the winter. It's like about a month off from spring, or a couple of weeks off from spring. It had not warmed up. It was cold as fuck. So here we are. We get out of the car. It's cloudy, like literally, like it is very cloudy. Like it looked like it was either going to rain or snow. And we're out here, and I'm just like, why the fuck are we out here at like almost 6 o'clock and like at a bar in the middle of the goddamn woods? Actually, it was about 3 something, really, 3 or 4. I think the seminar started around 4:30, so the sun was still up, but it was like you could tell it was turning to nighttime. So, um, I walk in and I'm talking to my friend. I'm like, does anybody else feel kind of weird about this? And they were all like, yeah, we do. We do feel weird. And I was told, I was like, okay, well, let's go for this event. So we sit down, and the person that I'm going to name here, this is not their name. I guarantee goddamn to you, guarantee goddamn to you, this is not their name. So please do not search for this person because you're not going to find them. Because I'm not using their real name at all. So, the person that I met was named, we'll say, we'll name the person Ryan. That's what we'll do. So, here comes this person. Well, first off, Ryan isn't their real name, and Ryan wasn't always a man. Ryan was at the time that I met him, he was a woman, and we were at this event, and we sit down inside the bar. There's food, like there was like steak with peas and carrots in the gravy. There was mashed potatoes, some cold slaw, some salad. Really wasn't that good. Macaroni and cheese. It was. Oh God. Let me tell you something. I've had some really terrible food in my life. That food was fucking awful. God damn it. It was fucking awful. Oh shit. Fuck. They should have quarantined a town for that. Instead of oh my God. Who the fuck, literally, who the fuck makes, how can you fuck up steak, mashed potatoes, and goddamn fucking macaroni and cheese and coleslaw? How the fuck do you fuck that up? These people seemingly found a way. But I digress. So, the seminar starts. You have us little sitting in the room. The bar is empty. The bar had closed for this particular event. Nobody, unless they pay for the event, can be there. So, you had a lot of us just sitting there with our stuffed animals and listening to the event. I thought it was pretty cool at first to hear someone talk about ABDL. I thought that someone was going to call on me, and they did, to speak for like a second about like different things in the community and to explain certain terms. The person that was speaking, Ryan, ends up like telling this entire group in like the most rudimentary fucking way about like what ABDL was, how it incorporated into age play, what are certain things and blah 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 that people are into, and how it diverges. Not everybody's this, not everybody's that. Let me put it this way. We were there for 2 fucking hours, and this person was speaking that entire 2 fucking hours. How the fuck do you spread that into 2 hours? Fuck, I did that in the first 20 minutes of this goddamn series when I first started. But I digress. We ended up in this fucking event for 2 goddamn hours. So I'm listening to it. I decide to get up and go and try some of the food. And everyone's mingling and chatting, and a lot of people came to speak to me and one of my friends about being ABDL. Because, shockingly, get this, for an event that was about ABDL, there were only 5 of us there. Yeah, wonderful advertising. Um, so what happens is that should have been, actually, I should say, that should have been a red flag for my ass right there. Because why the fuck were there only 5 people there that were ABDL, and all the rest seemed to be like DOMs or BDSM people, and everyone seemed restless or they didn't give a flying fuck. Us 5 ABs were great. It was great to hear it because someone else was speaking other than us on a subject that we wanted to know. So we chatted and ate food. And the moment I bit into that steak, I said, ew. That steak tasted fucking disgusting. I had to eat it and shovel that fucker down my throat in order for me to get the fuck out of there. So after about 2 hours and everyone that heard the fucking speech mingled a bit, and now we're on our way to this play party, right? Now everybody's hurrying up. Holy shit, it was like at the final sermon when you're at church, if you've ever been to a Baptist church, you know when they start doing the end of the sermon, they do a prayer at the end, right? Where all the people are supposed to either hem and get together and sing a little bit. Well, here's the funny shit. Whenever you've gone to a goddamn Baptist church, usually when you get to that point, motherfuckers don't even wait for the prayer to start because they're already jingling the keys. I got sinning to do, motherfucker. Let's go. So that's where this goes to. These people didn't give a fuck. They were ready to play. So they had their keys. These people were bolting for the doors. It was fucking nuts. So I ended up getting a ride with my other friend, not the people who I got there with, but with another group. So we ended up getting there, and it was, oh God. So we drive and drive and drive, and from the place, it was about a 45-minute drive. Now, we are officially 2 hours outside of the fucking city in order to go to this play party at this random fucking apartment complex. Like it was like line houses that you would see like down in Georgia. And I'm like, okay, there's a line house, and I guess these guys have some type of fucking dungeon here. I walk in, it's somebody's house. And I'm like, what? I'm like, holy shit. What the fuck is this? So I walk in, introduce myself. Everyone's like, oh, hey, it's nice to meet you. And they seem to be hurrying everybody in, right? So we're standing there talking, and then one guy comes up and he goes, okay, everyone, get ready. I want you all to understand the rules here, right? So he proceeds to start telling us the rules of the dungeon. Always ask for consent. Always do blah, 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 blah. This, that, and the other. Always make sure that you have a safe word, that you're using colors, because we want everyone to be safe. Okay, that sounds fucking fair. And then he made one extra fucking caveat. And this was the point that I was confused by. So, right after he gives all the rules and everything, and he says, oh, there's one thing I forgot to mention. A lot of you went to the ABDL explanation or seminar tonight. Yeah. What about it? Any of you that are ABDL, do not use any of the equipment. We don't want you anywhere near it. A matter of fact, we don't want you anywhere near us. Wait, what? I look at the lady that runs the events and I go, excuse me? And she goes, I don't know what's going on. And she had the look of, whoops, forgot to mention about that. So, let me get this straight. We're here at an event in which you don't want us here at the event. Then what was the fucking point of getting us here? And I was really fucking confused. You know, I says, huh? Why? Why would you do that? That makes no sense. So he proceeds to go, we don't want you on any of the furniture. We don't want your diapers or anything there. If you have to use anything, go to the bathroom. And he said, if you have to change, go to the bathroom. Yeah, we don't want you. We really We're holding the party for everyone else. We don't want you. Excuse me? So then I speak out first and I go, excuse me. So then what the fuck did we pay $65 for? Well, it's a play party. Yeah. But you're going to hold a play party that's not accepting of age players. Right? And you're going to have us sit on the fucking floor because you don't want us around any of you. The fuck? So what happens is that we find out that according to the guy, that if we're going to go to the dungeon space and once we enter the dungeon space, we have to be there for about 30 minutes before we can leave to go back to the other place or the main house. Why? I'll tell you why. Because this place is in a fucking private residence. So this person bought 2 apartments in their complex. One of the apartments they fucking turned into a dungeon. The other apartment they live in. Now, they set up this room they set up these places to only accommodate for 5 things. And I'll tell you what they are. Hold on. Let me get a tissue here. Oh, God. Oh, man. Yeah, so let me tell you what those 5 things are. The first is watching television. We'll start with the main apartment. The main apartment was ready for 1 television for everyone to sit down and watch if they weren't going to be involved. Which, by the way, nobody in the house, only the people running the event had control over the television. So we had to watch what they wanted to watch, not what we wanted to watch. Great planning, assholes. 2, fire play. It was one particular room with, like, not even a bed. It was like a table for them to do, like, hot suction cups and shit like that and fire play and stuff. In this one room with no fucking fire detector, obviously. Yeah. So, there you go. The second room in that place, the third room, was a guest bedroom for just straight sex. Yeah. So we have a guest bedroom that people are able to use just to have sex. Okay. That's kind of, I was like, okay, that's kind of weird. Then they were like, then at the dungeons, then you had the dungeon space. That was completely set up for 2 things as well. They had a bed in the dungeon space for sex. Wow, we have a bed for there too. That was a little more public because that was a main room. Also, it came, and the rest was BDSM and pet play because they had cages and stuff like that. But most of the stuff, so here we are, a television room that no one has control of and can only watch whatever the main people hosting are wanting to watch. A table for fire play, so that's 2. A bed in the main place for straight sex, that's 3. Also a bed in the dungeon for the exact same thing. They had a cage, which is like a whole prison play type thing. And then the rest was all BDSM. So anything from bondage and being set up on a St. Andrew's cross to being hung around and stuff like that. Yeah, there was nothing. Nothing. Everything was BDSM or just straight fucking sex. And in several fucking cases, consent was not given, and there was a lot of fucking groping. In which one girl straight up said, listen, I'm not having sex with you. We're only doing a scene and that's it. And the guy kept trying to press the issue, and it still didn't fucking happen. A matter of fact, it was brought up later about how this person, the same guy, did not ask for consent as he was groping this girl's vagina. So, right now, we have a situation where consent wasn't asked, and people are being subjugated. And I'm just like, well, that's interesting. As I'm sitting in this place, I start realizing something real fucking quick. Other than me and my sister through the community, which I've talked about her in the series before. Other than her and I, there were 2 other black people at that event. Yeah. The majority of these people were white. And there is a third person, because the third person, there was a third. So 5 5 black people, and the rest of the community was white. And this is where the problem starts. So when it came to my sister, there was a situation where this dude, one of the guys there, kept trying to force his way into her vagina. What I mean by that is that basically this dude was hustling himself in order to try to get in bed with her. And she kept saying no. And there was a situation in which it almost got violent. And people had to ask this dude to leave. And I believe it might have been the same guy who got in trouble with the other girl that was there. And I'm just like, what the fuck? So here I am in the dungeon space, sitting next to my friend, who... Oh, God. It's amazing. I'm not sick, but because I have dry mouth, like, all this mucus is forcing its way into my nose. I don't know what the hell's going on. But anyway, so, making the situation worse, right? My friend and I are sitting there on the floor. We're just chatting. And we're realizing that this situation was a lie. Everything about this was a lie. We were basically tricked into an event so that they could get $65 from us. It was all a money-making ploy. So the same friend is one that works with me in the community now. And we actually chatted about this recently, and we were just like, oh my God, that was so awful. But it gets worse. It gets a lot worse. So what takes place next couldn't be made up more in a fucking fiction story. So there's this Jabba the Hutt looking person. I'm just going to put that there. So this Jabba the Hutt looking person, it ironically was a woman. Fucking hideous, man. Like, Jesus Christ. I don't think back then, our community had some really ugly ass people in the community. I mean, like, some Hunchback of Notre Dame looking motherfuckers. Like, holy shit. And I don't know how it's possible that you can get some of the most unattractive people to be in a kink community, but there are, believe me, it was ridiculous. So here's this big person this woman who was fucking gross. Like, the first thing she started doing was just, like, she'd strip down to her underwear. And she's laying on the bed, and the only thing I can think in my head was, holy fuck, this person looks like Jabba the Hutt. And I wasn't saying this because I was trying to be mean. I was personally thinking this in my head. So, and it gets worse. It gets worse. I would never body shame anyone like this. But this person's attitude matched their disgustingness. That's why I'm saying it this way. I have met some wonderful fucking overweight people before. And I would never make fun of someone because of their weight. Ever. But this is that exception. This person was so gross of a human being. You aren't ready for what I'm about to tell you. First off, this woman is a black woman. And this is very fucking important. Because what this woman does is beyond fucking awful. So let's just talk about it now. So this is what takes place. So oh boy. She comes to me and my sister and proceeds to tell us about, oh, it's so great to see that there are other black people here. You know, this community has so many white people in it, and it's just primarily white, and we never get any new black people in here. And it's like, it's horrible. And then the thing is that she proceeds to make this a major fucking topic for the next 4 to 5 hours. And I really wish that this was a joke, but it's not. And she legitimately makes this a topic for 4 to 5 motherfucking hours. So, while we're there, she's like, oh, well, why did you all come here? Because we were told that it was going to be an ABDL, like, age play event. I wasn't ready for this. I thought that we were actually going to have, like, certain things for ABDL to actually be able to, you know, experience with one another, get to know each other, do some games and stuff like that. This is not what I was expecting. And this is not what I was fucking promised. And my friend's wife, who had basically lied to us, refused to come into the dungeon and constantly sat away from everybody and then continued to bitch about people in the community who she didn't particularly like. And it was me that brought up the fact that she was like, well, you know, we have to be safe in the community and things have to be done correctly. And I go up to her and I says, yeah, like telling us the fucking truth. Excuse me? I says, yeah, telling us the fucking truth. This wasn't true. You lied. And she goes, I didn't lie. I said it was a play party. Oh, so we're only telling half-truths and saying that that's the truth. No, you didn't tell us we weren't accepted here. So then why the fuck did you allow us to come? If that was the case, well, it was supposed to be part of the package. And I didn't know about this. This was something that they changed last minute. I didn't know about it. I says, oh, really? Okay. Then I'm going to go and talk to the dude. And if I come back here and find out that this is a fucking lie, this is your ass. So she was like, and then she went back into the conversation, constantly staring at me to find out what I was going to do. So I went and talked to the dude. And I says, hey, listen, I'm sorry that I'm here on your event because I didn't know that we weren't accepted. And he goes, what do you mean you didn't know? They didn't tell you? Like, no. Wait. Whoa. Was this pre-planned? Yeah. We told them off the bat that we did not want them, that we didn't want age players here. Like, we weren't, not specifically age player, but ABDL, because that's not our thing and we don't want to be involved with it. Okay, but why would you guys hold an event on the same night if it was connected? Wait, what are you talking about? Wait, it wasn't connected? No, we knew about the seminar. We just said that we invited people here. Well, wait a minute. We were told that the people that didn't go to the seminar couldn't come to the play party. So if that was the case, why were there people already here? Oh, well, we've been in the community for X amount of years. We don't have to follow that rule. What? There's a seniority? Whoa, wait a minute. What the fuck? Were we just making rules up as we go? Is that what this is? And the guy was just like, so, wait a minute. You guys legitimately didn't know this. No. What were you told? We were told that you guys just wanted to come here. Oh, I walked back to my friend's wife and I says, what the fuck? You fucking lied. And she's like, I didn't know. I was like, no, that's not what he just said. Whoa. What is the truth here? Which one is it? So, to make this a little bit easier, I gotta give her a name. So, we'll call her Viva. That will be her name. My friend's wife's name is not Viva. That is not her name at all. I'm just saying this because it makes it easier for you guys to understand. Viva has lied to the rest of us about everything that's fucking going on. And I go, explain to me how the fuck this happened. And she's like, I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. I'm like, dude. And she's like, they changed things. And they didn't tell me. I'm like, they did tell you because he just told me that they told you. You've known this for about 2 months. Well, I'm so very sorry. Oh, no, bitch. You're going to be sorry. Because this is a stain on your fucking reputation, not mine. Not on anybody else that came here. And when everyone finds out that you fucking did this, this is your ass. She immediately was like crying and felt bad. And then she left the place. And then my friend and his wife hopped in the car and left. I was so angry. And I was like, what the? I said, where the fuck are you going? And she's like, I need to go home. I can't handle this right now. What the fuck? Let me explain something about Viva. Viva is like one of the sweetest people that you would ever meet in the community. That's the front face. The back face of that shit is that she's a lying, conniving, crazy bitch who, holy shit. Like, I'm so glad my friend got a fucking divorce. Like, holy fuck, this bitch was crazy. Like, she always lied, came up with bullshit, and then tried to pass it off like she didn't fucking know what was happening. Like, as her memory just magically got erased. Well, this situation gets worse. It gets way worse. So, here I am, trying to figure out what the fuck to do. And I actually said to my friend, to my sister, I says, so we weren't supposed to be here. She said, I heard. So what's going to happen now? I don't know. This is the point that the community, and when I say the community, I am specifically speaking about the main group, came to the conclusion that they were going to destroy her by destroying my friend. And this was the day that dawned everything, because it came down to a save our ass measure. If I went public to the community about what took place, this would fuck up their meat market for years. And let me tell you, motherfuckers, it did. Oh, this was the meteor that destroyed the dinosaurs. So, here's what took place. After the event, I went online. And I wrote a 7-page fucking, like, scathing promo. I have to use wrestling terms there. On the main the main group in the community, the head group of the community, and specifically on Viva. I proceeded to blast this bitch like as if I was a Loudred from Pokemon. So I start going off about how disrespectful it was for the community to do that, for this decision to be made and no one to be told, for us to be subjugated the way that we were. And I went to the munch and fucking pointed this out. And everyone looked at Viva and was like, is he telling the truth? And she started going, I feel so hurt because it wasn't supposed to be like this. And I go, okay, what's going on? So she proceeded to tell me that she had been scapegoated into bringing people there and basically outed the whole idea of the meat market thing that we had already figured was going on already. But she outed it and was like, this is why they didn't tell you. It's because they were trying to use you all for sex. Did she just admit that? Oh, fuck. Well, this is about to get interesting. The community, the head group of the community, fucking were livid. Because basically she was saving her own ass knowing that her group was about to break the fuck down at what she was doing. I felt good that she was actually admitting to what the fuck was going on and what had been going on the whole time. The community was like, well, we need to put in a save our ass measure. What's the save our ass measure? We're going to frame. So they decided to frame. We'll call my friend. We'll 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 call my friend Candon, because I don't have a friend named Candon. I don't even think Candon's a real name. So they decided to frame Candon for fucking rape. What they did was they got someone that was in his wife's group, was the group that I was in at the time, and proceeded to have this person do a scene with him at their house. So my friend and his wife went over to this girl's house with her and her husband, and her husband was like is like a sissy, I guess. They live a really strange lifestyle, and that's me saying that versus being in the community for so many years. But they have a very strange dynamic. So what happens is that they came to the conclusion that they were just going to frame him for this. It was really fucking strange. So what they did was that they had him to do a scene, and afterwards she went out onto FetLife and basically blasted him for claiming that he had taken advantage of her and raped her. I was confused because I was like, I didn't know that you all did sexual scenes. And he's like, yeah, but I didn't rape her. Like, it was all consensual. Now, I've known Candon for years. And he is a really nice dude, really awesome guy. And him and I had been really close. Here's the problem. What they did was had him to make a verbal agreement, which is fine, but it's better to do it in writing. But they had a verbal agreement about what was in the negotiations and everything, and it was good. What he didn't expect, though, is that she was going to claim something that so what's about to happen here is you're about to see this not work the way it should. So their false rape claim is that he used her triggers, psychological triggers, to take advantage of her and rape her, right? And that she was crying and all these horrible things were happening. Well, here's the thing. She claimed that he got on his knees and took advantage of her while she was paralyzed and helpless on the floor. Bad part is, Candon has really bad knees. So he can't be on the floor that long. So the story already started falling apart. So she claims that he was down there for about an hour. Like he was that or like 45 minutes or some, it was some ridiculous time. But as you read her false rape claim, it proceeded to read more like a sex novel than it did an actual like rape claim. And I'll explain why. Everything that she wrote was written in this really strange passion. And I mean, like, the wording was so elaborate that it actually felt fake. And I kept saying, I was like, something's wrong here. Why is this? I said, why don't I believe her story? And I kept reading. I read her story 45 times in 4 days. And I kept reading it, kept reading it. I says, it's not sounding right. This doesn't sound right. Called one of my friends that isn't in the community to read it, and they said this story sounds like, they're like, is this a fan fiction or something? I go, so it's not just me, is it? No, these is, if this is a rape allegation, then this is really really elaborately put together, and like not only elaborate, but it's like almost, he says there is no fucking urgency in any of this. Like it's all written like it, as if it was a part of a sex television show. And he was like, it's too soap opera-ish. And I was like, okay, that's what I thought. So I went back and I brought this up to the community, and I says, this story can't be real. And they said, why? I says, because there's a lot of inconsistencies. And I started pointing out certain ones. The first one was the knee thing. The second, right, was her claiming to have been paralyzed. And I says, okay, what trauma did you have that paralyzed you? Because she didn't elaborate. She just said that the way that the way he said something and the way he touched her made her paralyzed. As his tantalizing fingers grow. I really wish I was joking, but this was actually in the fucking thing. Because I remember that line because it was so fucking weird. And I says, who the fuck writes like this? So I says, wait a minute. If this is a rape claim, and this is real, why is it written like this? And they're like, well, because she's retelling the events. As if it's a sex novel? Like, this, there's no urgency here. I don't see what happened. So my friend actually says, well, I did get on my knees, but it wasn't for that really. It was like, he was explaining that it was a spanking scene in which he got on his knees for, and that she was the one that actually directed that and was telling him how to do it. So then I says, then what the fuck is she talking about? And he says, well, what she's saying is true. It's just really exaggerated. I was like, really? He says, yeah. He says, I got consent for all of this. So she claims that he used her triggers and everything. He says, that's the thing I don't understand. The triggers. So people, like, the first thing that you need to understand, when you're in a giant community, people know people. And it being a giant community, everyone's intertwined. Well, here's the thing. The person that false rape claimed Candon had been to 32 other fucking dungeons in the state. And she had to fill out papers in order to use those dungeons, because a lot of people have contracts and papers and forms that you have to fill out. On the form, she put, I have no triggers. That's very important. So that was on one. Okay, let's go to another dungeon. No, I have no triggers. That's two. Next one. I have no triggers. What's going on? So, how could he have triggered you if you have no triggers? I was so confused by this. And it was fucking baffling. Because I was like, okay, well, if you don't have any triggers, then how the fuck did he trigger you? And then she's like, well, I can't believe people are... Some people came in with the victim blame thing. And I was like, the fuck? No. No. Just because you claim rape doesn't give you a free pass. Like, here's the thing here. You're claiming that someone raped you, right? And that the community should do something about it. So then it should be dealt with, similarly to court. So I will be the lawyer for this one. So here's my question. My friend has been accused of rape from a woman who claims he used her triggers. 32 other dungeons that she has been to, and we have the forms right here, copies of the forms, by the way, mind you, all of them said, I have no fuck triggers. So, the SJWs in the group are like, I don't want to hear it, I'm fucking done, fuck you, I'm out of here. I can't believe that all of you people are victim blaming. Hold up. I find this a bit strange. Why is this person going off the way that they are when it's obviously showing that this girl's story has a lot of holes? So I started to question that. And that person immediately dropped the group and blocked me. And blocked everyone else in the group and dropped their page. And no longer was in the group anymore. Strange. Okay. Next person flips out. And then what comes out is the girl's friend. The girl's friend, ironically, is someone that I know, who I work with in the community. This person was just as flim-flammed as everybody else was. Because she wanted to believe her friend. She wanted to believe that her friend was telling the truth. I cannot blame her for that. Right? Here's where the situation goes down the drain and you start to see the real mechanics of everything happening. You ready for this? Because I'm not sure I am. So the next thing that happens is we discover that, yeah, this person obviously, something happened, something went wrong, and something ain't standing out like it's supposed to be standing out. And the comment that is made, is fucking astounding. Because the situation calls for them to defend this girl's point. If she has been raped, right? Why? And he used her trigger words. Where were the triggers? What were they? Right? So when this starts getting pressed about the fact that she lied on all of her forms, she proceeds to explode and then go off about how this is horrible. I thought I had so many friends in the community and blah, 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 blah. And this is awful. And I can't believe that people... And I says, wait a minute. Hold on. Why are you flipping out? I was like, all you have to do is explain yourself. Just explain what the fuck you meant by A, B, and C. That's all. So why are you making this such a fucking big deal? Just explain why the fuck these things don't fit. That's all you have to do. I don't have to explain myself. Okay. Well, since she's not explaining herself, I'll explain it for her. I don't believe that she actually was the one that came up with this fucking plan. Wait, what? Ankh has an allegation. What? Yeah, I don't think she came up with this plan herself. And if we're going to actually have a situation like this where we're false rape claiming, I think we should start closing the doors of the community. Ooh, what what the fuck is he suggesting? Well, I'll tell you. I believe that the community should close its doors until this entire situation is fixed. Now everybody is flipping the fuck out. All the people in the main group are losing their fucking minds because that wasn't the plan. The plan was just to get everybody to believe the story, get him and his wife kicked out, and call it a day. Now we have a situation. If we are having a situation where someone is lying, we need to close the doors of the community until we can figure this out. Right now, everyone in this community is in danger due to the fact that we don't know which one is telling the truth. Now, she could be telling the truth, but at the same time, and my friend could be lying, or my friend is lying, or she's lying and my friend is telling the truth. Which one is it? Right now, we cannot endanger anybody else coming into this community. We need to shut the doors and close it off. This is fucking ridiculous. I can't believe we're victim blaming. And like, they had to come up with excuses quick because now the situation has blown out of control, and the other people in the community that weren't in the center group that created this bullshit of a claim, right? Now, mind you, the people that came up with this plan is about 20. The community is about 200. So now we have a situation where everyone, the eyes is on the center group. What are you going to do? I believe we should close the doors until we can figure this story out, because until this thing is fixed, we cannot trust anyone's word. So we should close the doors. Make this group closed. Then I get a message from Jabba the Hutt. How fucking dare you? Excuse me? How the fuck are we going to get new people into the community? How am I going to get laid? What the fuck? Lady, you do understand that you are saying that you are willing to put people in danger in a situation where we either have a liar or a rapist in the group. And you mean to tell me that this is all of a sudden a problem? We can't have new people then, and I won't get laid. Do you know what it's like to be me? I really wish I was joking about this conversation, but I actually do have this fucking messages saved. It's actually kind of funny. Sadly, I don't have the second group of messages. I only have the first, where she accuses me of being fucking crazy and not wanting new people into the group and wanting to be elitist. That's funny, because their group was the one that was originally talking about how they couldn't trust anybody and not to trust any other fucking group out there. Huh. Wonder how that works. Anyway, I go, lady, we have to close off the group. It's important. People could be in danger. We don't know what's going on. We don't know the situation. We need to make sure that everyone is safe. So I vote to have this entire group closed off and privated until we figure this out. I had 90 people raise their hands in agreement with me. The other group, get this, the main 20, were like, that's insane! That's crazy! So if that's crazy, that means that you all knew about this? What? Wait, what? Yeah. So the reason why I called this out is because I knew exactly what was going to happen. If I had suggested this and you guys came into agreement, I would know that you all weren't involved. So if you would agree with me, I would have known that you all weren't involved with this, because you guys wouldn't want the community to be damaged. But it seems that that wasn't the case. You all legitimately don't want to close it. Why? Because we don't think it is that serious. Wait, now rape isn't that serious? Excuse me? What? Oh. So you guys are awfully calm about this, because it sounds like you guys knew that this was going to happen. Well, and then that pointed questions. Did you all know about this? Did you all know about this ahead of time? No, 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 no. I don't. No. We didn't. We knew nothing about this. We don't even understand why that allegation would even come up. Oh, okay. So you guys legitimately didn't know anything about it? No, we didn't. All right, fair. So according to the main group, they knew nothing about what is going on right now. They knew nothing. This is brand new to them, right? So then I turn to the accuser and I go, care to fill that in? And she's like, what? I was like, care to fill that in? I says, it's true, isn't it? They put you up to that. And everyone looked at her and they're thinking, what the fuck is happening? So she later on, within 3 days after a bunch of people basically lambasted her ass about what she did, about her lying on the paper, she came out and said, yes, yes, it's all true. It's all lies. Wait, what? And she straight out said this, I lied. And I go, well, why? Why did you lie about this? And she says, well, I didn't even want to be a part of this. I'm like, whoa, what the fuck are you talking about? She says, this entire situation was thought up by the head people. What? The whole crowd is now looking at the main 20. So let me get this straight. The main people that run this group came up to false rape claiming one of their own? Yes. Why? Because they don't like his wife. So I immediately just put my head in my hands and I go, you're kidding. Now, I do want to shine some light on two things. Two things that were left out. The first is, this one's a little bit rough. The first thing I want to shine light on, right, is the fact that, yeah, they did do this. And they felt that it would have been okay to false rape claim somebody. The other thing that I want to point some light to and like really let you guys understand like how fucking ridiculous this is get this. So they promised this girl something in order to get her to false rape claim him, right? That's the first thing. They all lied about this. And it was amazing because I straight out was like, holy shit. They came to the decision at the end to basically to kick him out of the community. And the main 20 did not take the voices of anybody else that pointed out that this girl is still in the community after she lied about rape. And we're kicking somebody out of the community for a rape that didn't take place. Right? They decided that he's too dangerous. We have to get rid of him. And I says, that makes no sense. And I says, so you guys are actually going to take the stance as if something happened. And it's clear that nothing did. Yes. We have to. This is the first time that you guys are going to hear this in the story. And it's the only time. Right? Remember when I mentioned the comment in an earlier episode of my vlog? I said about the term keeping the community pure. This is where it comes from. They actually looked to me and said it is our job to keep the community pure. I looked confused and was like, excuse me? The fuck does that mean? So I ended up asking, I go, what the fuck do you all mean by that? And they said, what do you mean? What do we mean? Like, I'm asking a legitimate fucking question. What do you mean by keep the community pure? Well, we have to make sure that there aren't any threats or anything. That's not what that sounds like. And I ended up pointing out, I says, when you say keep the community pure, that has a lot of racist connotations to it, especially seeing as how our community is. No, 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 it's not racist, it's not racist. Somebody else chimes in, another white person. No, that is racist. You keep mentioning keeping the community pure as you kick out a black person. Huh. That's kind of interesting. So, was this a race thing? Yeah, it was. Because because Candon had years of tenure on him. Like, he had been in the community almost 30, 40 fucking years. He had tenure. He was the only black person in the community with a tenure that long. Everything else just fell apart. So, they kick him out. And he is no longer allowed in their community. I point out that it made no sense that he was kicked out and banned, and yet the woman who false rape claimed him and admitted that she lied got to stay. Then I found out about the other story. The other story was about a woman who was in their group who was cheating on her husband and told everyone that she had been raped by this other guy and it was horrible. Now, mind you, she didn't tell the group that. She told that to her husband. She told her husband that she had been raped by this other dude who I think was a white dude. And the husband came there at one of the munches and beat the shit out of this guy in front of the restaurant. Just assaulted him, right? And she's crying and she's trying to hold back the husband. Everyone's like, well, what the fuck is going on? And then she was like, the guy goes, that's the dude that raped my wife. And everyone looked at her and then looked back at him and said, wait, what? He says, yeah, she told me about how he had, like, about what had been going on and everything. They all look back at her again and she's just scared out of her mind. And they're like, he didn't rape you. You've been fucking him for like the last couple of, like, for the last 2 years. Wait, what? The husband looks at her and she's like, I can't talk about it right now. And then she leaves. Now, this dude, the husband, ends up going to jail for assault and putting a dude in a coma. I think he got like 5 years or something like that. And got sued too. He had to pay a large ass sum of money to that guy. The girl got kicked out of the community. The guy, I don't know if I think he left after that. But there is a whole like culture that this group has. And it's why I solidified a lot of my time to point that shit out to the rest of the community. And ever since then, their name has pretty much been put into the dirt. No one trusts their asses, especially with the false rape claims, and they finding out that I was telling the truth. A lot of my blog episodes that were talked about it, where I talked about it, were used in context. See, that's a major thing, and people don't seem to understand about like how awful some of that shit can get. Let me point out number two. The second thing. Remember I said that I was going to point something out about the one lady that was just as ugly as her fucking personality? Let me tell you why I had pointed out about her being black. And this is very important. So, I ended up getting a ride home in the car with this woman. One of my friends was driving, my sister was driving, and she was dropping everybody else home, right? My sister and I are there and we're in the car talking. And this woman goes, well, I got a wonderful idea. And we go, oh yeah, what is it? I'm tired because I don't want to deal with shit. She goes, well, I was thinking, well, why don't we hold a community event and get like all the black people that are in the community to be at this event? Okay. What exactly is this event for? I mean, if I'm ever gonna get anywhere in the community and try to get some say in the community, I have to do certain things. So this'll be able to boost me and boost everybody else. No, it's not there to boost anybody else. Just her fat ass, and I'll explain what it is in a moment. First off, before I tell what it is, for the love of God, if you ever have the chance to say something incredibly racist, right? just know, just know that there's a black person that might have exceeded you. Ready for this? Hold on. So I had an idea. We'll host a dinner. We'll have a dinner party and invite all the top people in the community. There's only a few top people in the community. Most of them are not black. I know. We'll bring in all the black people, and we'll host a party. Okay, this is intriguing. I don't know where this idea is going. What is the idea? Well, uh, I need servers for it. That's a strange request. Okay. She turns to me and goes, "Can you serve? You would have to leave all that age play shit at home, though." Yeah, I could do that, but I'm not doing it. What the fuck is the point? And then she's like, well, and you have to be okay with whatever the people coming there want. Wait a second. Whoa, hold on. Are you holding a plantation dinner? Yeah. Oh, shit. What the fuck? And then she's just like, my sister goes, are you out of your fucking mind? What? I don't see what's the problem with it. All the fucking white people in the community will love it because, I mean, they already don't have respect for black people in the community, and this way, I'll hosted something and then put us on the map. And once I get some say, I can push all of you. Oh my God, lady, you are suggesting selling out blacks so that you can get a higher position in the kink community. Well, I wouldn't say it's selling out. You're talking about holding a plantation dinner where the servers have to say okay basically to getting raped. Well, I don't understand why you all are making such a big deal of this. Do you see why I make fun of this stupid bitch now? She legitimately asked for us to hold a plantation dinner. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, I was so baffled and confused by that. I was just like, what the flying fuck? Like, is this woman, like, for real? Like, oh my God. Ugh. So now you guys have the basis and from part one, the addendum, and the explanation of the full part two. This is why I had to split it into two parts. And the first one seemed like a rant. This one's a lot more coherent. I was beyond fucking amazed at the bullshit she was pulling. Like, seriously. And it irritates me because it's like, this is why we have issues in the kink community being black. Because there are people who either are willing to sell you out or they'll come to some conclusion that doesn't make any fucking sense. What I'm saying to you all now is that the situation in which that I'm at now currently deals with Viva. So uh, this is the last part, so. Viva has long since, after Viva and my friend Cannon get kicked out of the community, they end up going to trying to start their own community. Oh boy, that did not work. I helped try to work with them because I believed in Viva. But you see, that's the sickness. That's part of the craziness. She, at one point, started becoming so insane that she was basically turning the community into a cult. And my sister pointed it out and was like, hey, listen, I don't trust her ass anymore. And I says, well, why? And she says, because their behavior is cultish. And she starts pointing out about like how she basically started doing this loyalty aspect, and that if you got angry with her, that automatically meant that you were not loyal and that you were a part of the problem. She was insane. Like, she was legitimately fucking crazy. And it's, oh God, it was awful. It was, it was just bad. So now the situation calls for it, and like I said before, things are different now, a lot different, and Viva's gone, and my friends have essentially taken over the community, and things have gotten a lot better. However, remember what I said about that cult? Yeah, there's still people that are involved with that worship that woman like she was a goddess. And they don't realize how fucking dangerous she was. She didn't vet people. She didn't do A, B, and C to make sure that people were safe. She only cared about her own image and what she wanted. And I'm glad to be able to be here to tell you guys, like, what that consisted of. It's everything about this is entirely fucked up. Oh man. But that's essentially what I've been dealing with. Um, yeah, now I just have to deal with the last two cult members of Viva, and it sucks because Viva's cult members are fucking insane. Like, they legitimately hate my group because they believe that my group stole what was rightfully theirs, which they didn't. They, like, the community just trust my friends more than they trust them. And the situation is so fucking toxic when it comes to Viva's cultists, because a lot of them were out of the community for over 5 to 6 years, and now they're coming back into the community and continuing Viva's fight. They're angry over shit that took place, but that's not the case. Like, it's pretty damn bad. And as for, oh, I forgot to add the medical fraud thing. Yeah. So Viva at one point claimed that she couldn't work because she didn't want to work. So so she kept going to the doctor in order to get an excuse so that she didn't have to work. But they wouldn't put her on disability because they couldn't find anything wrong. And all she used to do was bitch and whine about her back. Well, here's the funny thing about her back. Her back had no issues. There were no muscles, nothing like that. She had been a specialist, nobody could find anything. And then eventually, she asked me to falsify, to try to put her on my insurance, so that, and claim that she was my wife on my insurance, so that she could continuously waste money to go and get into these specialists. Yeah, it was fucking stupid. She refused to work, and this is why Candid left her ass, because she pretty much was putting him into financial ruin. And she then claimed that, you promised to take care of me! I'm just like, oh god, this is fucking stupid. Camden was like looking for ways for us to actually help him break up with her. We didn't want to get involved. We, referring to my sister and I. He eventually left her. We didn't see him for like 2 or 3 years, and he just came back and she was gone. We have no idea. Like, I know she moved away. She moved to, like, the West Coast or something. But, yeah, it was fucking nuts. Holy shit, man. It was fucking crazy, the story. But I swear to God, this is some of the stuff that I've been through. Um, the next portion of my journey through the kink community, I'll be talking about it'll be a podcast, probably, like this one ended up being. Um, yeah, so what's going to happen is that I plan to talk about, um, well, how I tried to reboot the age play community and how I failed and why I failed. I ended up succeeding later on, but I had to step back in order to do it. But anyway, I'm going to leave that here. Um, Thank you for listening to my podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed. Yeah. So that's it for this one. I'll probably be back with another podcast sometime during the week or next week. But until then, it was great talking to you guys, and I hope to see you guys later. Bye.